Hello! Today I'm going to describe for you two experiments that are in the article Blame It on the Brain, written by Jonah Lehrer. If you're interested in the article, I'll include a link in the description under this video, and you could click the link and go read the article. The two articles we're going to look, or the two experiments I'm going to describe, are experiments done by someone named Roy Baumeister, and I'll call them Experiment 1 and Experiment 2. He's looking at our willpower and how willpower requires actual energy, just like I would need it to use energy to exercise or to walk or run or things like that. So let's go to the Baumeister Experiment 1. And what he was looking at was the effect of using willpower on our glucose levels in the blood. So the glucose would be the sugar in my blood, which would, another way of saying that would be the energy in my blood. If I have a lot of glucose in my blood, that means I have more energy. If there's low glucose, that means I have less energy for my body to burn and use. So for this experiment, Baumeister had two groups. With group 1, they had to fast for 3 hours. That means no food for 3 hours. And after they fasted for the 3 hours, they had to do a variety of self-control tasks. Now, these self-control tasks were tasks that did not require any physical movement, but nonetheless, they required some brain work. Group 2, on the other hand, well, they fasted for 3 hours also. The reason that both groups fasted was so that we couldn't consider whether or not something they ate before the experiment affected the experiment. Both groups were hungry when they did this experiment. And after they fasted for 3 hours, this group, Group 2, didn't have to do any self-control tasks. So let's go take a look at Group 1. When they did self-control tasks, one example would be where they had to focus on maybe getting specific information from a really boring video. The kind of video where your brain is screaming to not pay attention to it, where you really just want to look out the window or zone out and think about your shopping list. But this group had to work very hard to pay attention to this boring video. This is the kind of thing that's not physically demanding. You're not running or doing any exercise. But nonetheless, it hurts your brain a little bit. So here's the results. Group 1. The group that had to pay attention to the video, their glucose levels were lower than Group 2, the group that did not have to pay attention to the video. So they had higher glucose levels. So what does this say? What's this suggesting is that to do the kinds of things that require willpower or focus or paying attention, it actually requires energy, just like you would need energy to walk up and down stairs or to lift weights or to ride a bike. So, in other words, the lower glucose levels for Group 1 means they were using their willpower, so willpower requires real energy. Let's move on and talk about the second experiment. This one involves lemonade. So we had one group that's going to drink some lemonade with real sugar, and Group 2 is going to drink lemonade with Splenda, which is fake sugar. Okay. What we would expect with this group is that the glucose, the energy in their blood after they drink this sugar, would go up, and this group, their glucose levels would just stay the same. So what they would have the students do after they drink either the real lemonade or the lemonade with Splenda, is do some sort of self-control task. One example might be where you put your hand in freezing cold water and see how long you can leave it in there. What they found was the group that had the real lemonade did better in self-control tasks. So that lemonade gave them energy so that their brain was able to function better as far as their willpower. Okay, so once again, it shows that our willpower, to have the willpower to be able to do things, it requires energy. Which leads us to this question. Is it a good idea to skip breakfast before class? If we need energy to have willpower, to be able to focus and pay attention, it certainly doesn't help to do those things if you're hungry, if you don't have the energy in your body. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day.